Hello, Instagram. Hello, Facebook. What is up? What is up? Tonight, I'm going to talk to you guys about something that's actually kind of become like a big thing. And I wish that it hasn't, but it has. But before we get started on talking about mom guilt, hey, Cassie. I just want to take a second. If you have your oils, grab them. I'm using Arbor Vitae because it is my go-to defense for calming. If you don't have oils, then just take a second and breathe with me. I wasn't planning on talking about this topic, but I kind of got that tug on my heart that it needed to be spoke about, so we're going to do that in just a minute. I am just, I hate mom guilt. I hate it so much. And I've dealt with it before, and I've actually spoken on mom guilt before, but it's been a minute. So we're going to take a deep breath and we're going to talk about it. I feel like it has become a normal thing for mothers to feel completely isolated, and I hate it so much. It makes me so angry at the fact that mothers feel like they are 100% alone most of the time. This is why I created our moms group called Eden's Refuge, because I wanted there to be a space of community for mothers where there was no judgment, where you could go on and tell how your day was honestly and not be afraid that someone was going to brand you as a bad mother or say that you weren't doing it right. Because let's be honest here, there's no right. There's no right. We don't get this magical handbook that comes with our children as soon as we pop them out. We literally just have to ebb and flow and figure things out as we go. And if we see that something doesn't work for our specific child, that's okay. That doesn't make it wrong. That just means, hey, we need to try something different. And so the idea of the amount of hate that gets transferred, hey Cassie, from one mother to another drives me up the wall. Simply for the fact that from one mother to another, you should be viewing one another as, hey, you see me, I see you, we have this in common, let me help you, you teach me what works for you. And I posted on my stories earlier that I was just completely overwhelmed. My son wasn't being bad. He was just being a boy. He was playing. He was being loud. He was shooting Nerf guns, chasing our dogs, screaming, throwing, all the things. He was having a blast. But I was also I was also sitting there trying to cook stir fry on the stove. He's running by the stove. Nerf bullets are flying into the food. And I hit my threshold of overwhelm. And I was just like, dude, listen, you need to stop. You need to sit down. I am overstimulated and I need a minute. I think we, need to normalize the fact that it's okay to tell our children when we're having a moment of overwhelm. Something that I have done raising my son is I have always told him the truth. It's always been honest. Even if he didn't like it, even if I didn't like it, I told him the truth. And this has made a dynamic between the two of us where he can come tell me, hey mom, I am freaking aggravated. And we can work through it. Okay, why are you aggravated? What do you need from me? What can I do to help you right now since you're so aggravated? What can I do for you? And this has it's honestly alleviated a lot of blow-ups. It's alleviated a lot of fits. And so I told him tonight, I'm like, listen, honey, I am overstimulated. I am up here. I need you to go sit down, go watch your show. Just leave me alone for a minute. I love you, but I need you to go sit down. And he's like, okay. So he goes and sits down. And I go through my feeling that just like my chest is tight, I'm overwhelmed, I'm freaking out, I've reached my limit. My husband's still working, so he wasn't here to help. And my biggest concern was, what if him having fun comes running through this kitchen and burns himself, or causes the the pan to fall off of the stove, and all of a sudden he's got hot food on him. I was worried about his safety. I wasn't trying to keep him from having fun. So I grabbed my oils, because that has become my front line of defense. And I'm not trying to sell you on anything right now. This is not what I'm doing. I am just telling you guys about what prompted this conversation with you tonight on Mom Guilt. I grab my oils and I start putting them on. And I take my Adaptive Soft Gels, which is just, it's veggie capsules with oils in it. And with doTERRA essential oils, it hits your bloodstream within 22 seconds. Okay? And at about that minute mark is when you start to feel your body just go down and regulate and chill. And so, excuse me, I gave it a couple minutes to just settle in. And I took the Arbor Vitae like I did in the beginning of this live, and I put it in my hand and I smelled it. And I allowed myself to ground and breathe and just work through the fact that there was too much at one moment going on. Okay? And I just immediately I went to my stories, because I felt the need to tell mothers that they're not alone, that it's okay to get overwhelmed, it's okay to get overstimulated, it's okay to tell your child to go sit down for a minute so you can take a second and reassess your emotions so that you can better show up for them. What's not okay is feeling guilty for that. Okay? And used to, I would have felt so guilty for telling him, go sit down. Go sit down, I need to be left alone for a minute. But I had to learn that telling him to separate himself from me for just a minute so that I could recenter myself, in turn helped me show up as a better mother for him than I would have been aggravated. Right? So the number one thing, I've got 4 things I want to tell you guys about, but the first thing is, know that you are not alone. You do not have to be alone in this journey of mothering and of motherhood. You do not have to be alone. I have a mom's group on Facebook called Eden's Refuge, where any age, any stage of life, whether you're a single mother, you're a married mother, you're a widowed mother, whether you're young, old, in between, it does not matter. You are welcome there. And it is a safe place. And today I just started setting up the Instagram page for Eden's Refuge, so that if you prefer Instagram over Facebook, you're welcome there too. This does not have to be a journey that you have to walk by yourself. Even if you do not have supportive people in your circle around you, find them somewhere. Whether it's through connecting on a Facebook, on a mom's group, whether it's finding mothers online and following them just to have that little twinge of excitement, that twinge of inspiration. Whatever and however you have to do it, know that you're not alone, and surround yourself with other people that are going to inspire you and give you ideas and be there for you whenever you're having a crappy day or when you have a moment where you're overwhelmed. Find your people. Okay? The second thing is do not feel bad. Society has made motherhood a one-size-fits-all, and I am so happy to give you the permission to call BS on that right now. Motherhood is not one size fits all. Motherhood is one size fits you and your baby. It's whatever that thing is that works great for you and your baby. It's an individual interaction. It's an exchange between you and your child, or your children if you have more than one. And knowing that, hey, this works wonderfully. This helps so much. But it's also feeling confident enough that if it doesn't work, you can say, hey, this is not working for us. We need to reassess and steer this in a different direction. Let's try something new. Okay? You cannot feel bad for being a different mother than what society paints. You can't feel bad for having the real moments in motherhood that aren't pretty, that look ugly, that nobody has the balls, sorry for lack of better words, to talk about. You can't feel bad for that. Motherhood and life in general is not this pretty Instagram feed. Sure, there are moments that resonate and might look so beautiful. It could be a staple on an Instagram feed. But your life and your entire mothering journey is not going to look like that. It is literally like water. Your journey ebbs and flows. It goes great, then it gets rocky because you have to learn and evolve and grow. It's never just gonna go good all the time. I tell you guys this all the time. Anytime something is going horrible, people will always be the first to tell you, this too shall pass. But when things are going great, nobody reminds you that this too shall pass, but it does. And it's meant to, because we're not meant to stay in the great. We're meant to face the challenges head on, learn, so that we can be a better version of ourselves. A better mother to our children, a better, more confident woman. Okay? Number 3 is know your worth. Hey, Linda. Know your worth. I used to be so easy to just get to. If you insulted my mothering, if you insulted my work ethic, if you insulted me as an individual, excuse me, if you called me lazy, I would literally go for the jugular. But that was the version of me that hadn't learned. That was also the version of me that was a 19-year-old mother, young, confused, not knowing what she was doing, just trying her best. And I had to learn my worth as an individual so that I knew my worth as a mother. And as soon as I figured out the fact that my worth does not be determined excuse me, by the inputs of others, but it is determined by the satisfaction of what's in here, of my heart. And it's determined by the fact that my son can get up when I tell him that I'm okay, I'm chill, everything's good, mommy just needed a second, but I'm okay now. He can get up and come give me a hug and say, do you feel better? And I tell him yes. And he says, okay, good, I'm glad. And he hugs me and kisses me, runs off, starts playing with his Nerf gun again like it never ever happened. Know your worth. Know that there is not a better mother for your children than you. That's why God gave them to you. He did not give you your children with promises that it would be easy. But He gave you your children with the promise that you would be able to figure it out. And that they were the best fit for you. And the last thing I want to say is have some sort of a routine for yourself. Yourself. So that when you hit those moments where you're overwhelmed, or you have those moments where you're allowing mom guilt to creep in, you can just go away to that routine and stop and reevaluate and just fix your mindset around it. Mothering is difficult, but it is so beautiful. And you will learn more on this journey than any other journey that you might face. And the beauty in all of it is, despite the societal standards, and despite the it should look likes, at the end of this journey, you're going to have a beautiful child or children that will be able to attest to the fact, hey, my mom always figured it out. My mom was human. She cried. She yelled. She was angry sometimes. She was human. But she always figured it out. And she always showed up for us. She always put us first. Okay? And the only way you're going to be able to put your kids first is if you take care of yourself. So have a little routine that you can do when you start to feel completely overwhelmed or angry or whatever it may be. And maybe for you it looks like stopping and taking 15 breaths. For me, it looks like retreating away to my oils in the corner of the kitchen for a minute and breathing. Okay? Maybe it's singing a song. Maybe it's dancing really out there and vigorously to just move your state. Whatever it looks like for you, have that tool in your belt. So that when those moments arise, you can tell your child, hey baby, mommy loves you, but I am overwhelmed right now. I am completely overstimulated. I need you to go sit over there and watch your YouTube. And I'm going to stand over here for a few minutes and I am going to recollect myself and I will come back to you when I'm done. Because at the end of that, it's going to better serve you and it's going to better serve your children. Stop letting mom guilt ruin you. I heard this thing on TikTok today and it said, words do not hold power unless you give it to them. So, and just to break this down, basically she was saying, someone can come and tell you, hey, you didn't get little Johnny vaccinated. Oh my God, what kind of mother are you? You might have chose not to vaccinate because your family has cancer that runs in the family and vaccinations can cause XYZ. Whatever it is. You've all had a moment where somebody came and said something to you and it completely caught you off guard and made you just straight up pissed. But those words don't actually hold value, and they don't actually have a place in here unless we let them. You give power to words whenever you accept them and you think about them and you dwell on them. And once you dwell on them, your mind it literally starts a cycle where it looks for situations for those kind of things. Okay? So the next time this happens, I want you to say, thank you, but your opinion does not serve me. It does not serve me. Don't let somebody give you an opinion if they haven't built what you're trying to build. If they're not a mother and haven't walked the journey that you're walking, don't fall susceptible to that. If they are a mother and they try and come and throw shade at you or whatever you want to call it, the first thing I want you to do is let it go in one ear and out the other. Don't give those words power. Second thing I want you to do is simply say, from one mother to another, I thought that you would understand that it's not okay to judge someone else's mothering style just because it's not like yours. Hopefully one day you will understand that, and then walk away. Know you're not alone. Don't feel bad. Know your worth. And set up a routine for yourself. For when you get frustrated, when mom guilt starts creeping in, snap yourself out of it. Have systems, baby. Have systems. If you would like to be a part of Eden's Refuge Mom Group, it is 100% judgment free. It does not cost you a penny. Every day there is a cute quote posted in the mornings, and then at night there is a little graphic posted where I open up the opportunity for everybody to tell us, did you have a good day? Did you have a bad day? So we can celebrate the good together and release the bad together. It's not a requirement. It's just there if you feel the need to get stuff off of your chest. And the Instagram it's already opened. Add me to your group. I will, Cassie. The Instagram has already been set up. You can find it if you type in edens.refuge. There's no post on it yet because I literally just set it up. But I will go ahead and get everything added to that. So if you prefer that platform over Facebook, then you're welcome to go there. But I love you guys. Mother is the greatest title that I have ever been given, and that I will ever have. And I'm so grateful that I have raised my son in a way that works for the two of us, so that he can give me grace in moments where I feel overstimulated and overwhelmed, and I can give him grace in moments where he feels overstimulated and overwhelmed, but there's still a respect between the two of us. I'm just forever grateful for my little boy and for the opportunity to be a mother. So I love you guys so much. I hope that this resonated with you in some way. I will see you guys for high-low in a little bit. Okay? Bye.